All right, looking at these equation of circles. Now, the equation of circle stuff is not going to be on your test, but we do need to go over it. So we're going to spend a day just looking at this a little bit. We're not going to get into anything crazy on this, really. Okay, so the first thing here is it says equation of a circle in standard form, and I should have written this bigger, but here is the standard form of the equation of a circle. So it's x minus h in parentheses squared plus y minus k in parentheses squared equals r squared. Now the h and k are the x and y value of the coordinates of the center of the circle. So the h is going to be the x value, the k is going to be the y value of the center. And then the r is the length of the radius. Okay? So going to be relatively simple as far as that's concerned. So on this first one down here, I want to write the equation of a circle that's centered at 1, -8 and has a radius of 7. So again, what I'm going to do is the 1 is the x value of the center, so 1 is going to get plugged in for h. -8 is the y value of the center, so it's going to get plugged in for k. And then 7 is the length of the radius, so 7 is going to get plugged in for r. All right, so it's going to look like this. In parentheses, we're going to have x minus 1 squared plus, in parentheses, y minus. Now notice minus is built into the formula, so I automatically put that minus there. And then there's a -8. And we'll come back and clean this stuff up in just a second. So in here I have y minus, and that minus is there because that's part of the formula, and then this minus is here because that's a -8, equals 7 squared. Now there's a little bit of cleaning up that I want to do here. There's two things that I want to clean up. So what's one thing you think needs to be cleaned up? Yeah, the two negatives right there needs to be dealt with. And then the other thing I want to clean up is I don't want to leave this as 7 squared. I want to go ahead and write out what 7 squared is. Okay? So I'm going to have x minus 1 squared plus, what's this going to be? Y plus 8 squared equals 49. All right, so you can see all I did was plug in 1 for h, -8 for k, and 7 for r. Okay. The next one says, write the equation of the circle of the graph, the circle graphed at the right over here. Okay, so where's the center of this circle at?
0, 4.
Yeah, 0, 4 is the center. And how long is the radius of this circle? Yeah, I'm just going to count it. I mean, I can count it in this case. So here's the center. It's just 1, 2, 3 units. That's the length of the radius. So the radius is 3 units in this case. So the radius equals 3. So if I write that in my equation, what's that going to look like in the form? What's it going to look like? What am I going to write here?
X minus 0.
Closed squared plus
1 minus 4.
y minus 4 closed squared equals 3 squared. Okay? Now there's two things that I want to clean up in this. So what do you think one thing is that needs to be cleaned up?
X minus 0.
Yeah, minus 0. There's no reason to write minus 0. So I'm going to just take that out. And what's the other thing that needs to be dealt with?
3 squared.
The 3 squared. I'm just going to write that as 9. Okay? So this is going to be just x squared. There's no reason to write the minus 0. Plus y minus 4 squared equals 9. And that's what the equation will look like. Okay, what is origin? What does that mean? The origin is the place right where the x and the y meet up. That's what the origin means. So what are the coordinates of the origin?
0, 0.
That's 0, 0. So I'm going to have x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals square root of 10 squared. So there's 3 things to clean up on that. What's it going to look like? Okay, good. X squared plus y squared, the minus zeros go away. Now, if you think about this, what is square root of 10 squared? 10, because remember the square root and square are inverse operations. They do the opposite thing. And so, they cancel each other out. I don't like that phrase. They cancel each other out, basically. And so it just leaves the 10. Okay? Try it for this one out here on 1b. At the equation. So what's it going to be?
X minus 4 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 64.
Okay, got to be careful of one thing there.
You need your radius instead of diameter.
Yeah, because see, that says the diameter is 8. So if the diameter is 8, what does the radius equal?
4.
Equals 4. So this is what?
16.
Should be 16, yes. Because 4 squared is 16. So that's what it should be. All right. On this example 2, it says write the equation of the circle with the center at negative 2, 4, and that passes through the point negative 6, 7. That means that the circle is on that point negative 6, 7. So where's the center of the circle at? Negative 2, 4. And this is really the hardest thing for this problem. How long is the radius? Now, if you think about it, okay, let me just crudely draw this real quick. So negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 is right here. And negative 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7 is like right here. Now, on this one, I could count how long the radius was. Because it was easy, just straight up 1, 2, 3. With just knowing 2 points, can I just count like on a diagonal like this? Can I say it's like, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 units or something like that? Can I do that? No, I cannot do that. Okay, so there's 2 ways to do this. I need to know how far is it from the center to that point right there. That's going to tell me the radius. How far is it from here, the center, to out here where the circle is like this? Okay, so this is going to be the length of the radius. So there's several ways to do that. The way I'm going to look at it is we're going to use the distance formula right up here, okay? And this will tell us how long that segment is. So x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. All right. So let me erase some of this. So we're going to have x1, y1, x2, y2. So it's going to be negative 6 minus negative 2 squared plus 7 minus 4 squared. All I'm doing is just taking those four numbers and plugging them up into that distance formula up there. And so